Hey everyone, Rich Gasaway here. Last week I announced I was looking for a department to partner with me to host a situational awareness event on September 26th, National Situational Awareness Day. I said I wanted this to be the biggest event that I ever did, and I'd like to have 500 students in the room. And for hosting, the department that partners with me would get some nice incentives, including all of their members would be able to attend for free. I had 9 agencies step up so far and express interest in hosting. Now, obviously, I can only host one event on the coveted Situational Awareness Day, and I'm not looking forward to the task of trying to determine which agency is going to get that opportunity. It's a great problem to have to solve, though, and I appreciate everyone who's stepped up. I'm going to work with all those agencies to bring a great situational awareness program to their region, and I'm excitedly looking forward to that. So if you're interested in partnering with me to bring a great training experience to your region, just go to the SA Matters website and click on the Contact Us link. I'm giving serious consideration to making this a National Situational Awareness Month celebration. I have to if I'm going to accommodate all those agencies that have stepped up, and thank you for doing so. I absolutely love it. For those agencies that cannot, for one reason or another, host a live event, for you I have the Situational Awareness Matters Online Academy. There are almost 700 students enrolled in the Academy so far, and it's growing nicely. Let me take a moment to share with you some of the feedback that I received from Academy graduates. I had a recent observation reinforced by the material covered in the first 2 sections of the online Academy course. One of my counterparts in a neighboring agency ends every conversation in person or on the phone with the phrase, "Be safe." After several recent fire incidents where this person's department made and were proud of risky decision-making, I mentioned to my supervisor the habit of saying, "be safe," without any consideration for what it actually means. About a week later, I was assigned to a hazmat incident involving a fuel tanker accident with a product spill in their jurisdiction. My observations included recognition of multiple small unsafe conditions and poor decision-making, including PPE issues, apparatus placement, involvement of untrained personnel, and an unwillingness to demobilize contingency resources and tactical reserves before operations were completed. No one was hurt, and no catastrophic failure occurred, but the signs were all there. As I was leaving the scene, that same person said to me, "Be safe." I relayed to my supervisor in frustration when I returned to the district the peculiars of this incident and said I wished that the "be safe" person would start saying "be lucky" instead of "be safe." I was encouraged to hear some of the same themes in the first part of the Academy. While my department is not perfect, we do attempt to understand the components of complex situations and look for areas where breakdowns may occur. I'm very interested to see what tools are still yet to come in the rest of the course. And this is from a division chief of training. I'm not going to mention his name because obviously he's talking about an issue with a neighboring community, so we'll let it go at that. The next piece of feedback, this was a really good course, and I picked up even more things that I wasn't able to in the classroom session that you held in North Carolina in 2016. Great stuff. Thanks for a chance to be a part of this, and it was a really good program. Signed, Adam. Thank you, Adam. Next piece of feedback is from Craig, a lieutenant. Excellent training. I'm hoping that I can use this to improve the training of our department and give me more confidence as an officer. Thank you, Lieutenant Craig, for that feedback. If you're interested in taking your understanding of situational awareness and high-risk decision-making to a higher level, visit samatters.com and click on the green button on the right side of the homepage labeled Online Academy. One last announcement for the premium enrolled students in the Academy. This coming Thursday, we'll be hosting our next webinar in our series, and our guest will be Peter Van Dorp, the retired training chief from the Chicago Fire Department. He was one of the speakers featured in the Foundations course, and he'll be talking about balancing the culture of safety with aggressive tactics, among other things. So be sure to sign up for that webinar for the premium students, and remember, if you miss them, I upload a recording of each of those webinars into the course room. Last month, the webinar host guest was Dave Dotson, the founder of the Art of Reading Smoke program, and Dave shared some outstanding tips for how to incorporate smoke reading into your size up and the connection between reading smoke and situational awareness. Thank you, Dave and Pete, for sharing your valuable insight with our premium enrolled students. Okay, let's get this episode rolling. Today's episode is sponsored by Midwest Fire. For more than 20 years, Midwest Fire has been manufacturing high-quality tankers, tanker pumpers, and fire rescue vehicles in the United States and Canada. Keeping firefighters safe while enhancing their capabilities is what they do best. To learn more, go to MidwestFire.com.
This is Battalion Chief Stephen Page from the Raleigh Fire Department, and you are listening to the SA Matters radio show with Dr. Rich Gasaway. The SA Matters mission is simple. They want to help us see the bad things coming in time to avoid bad outcomes.
Hello, and welcome to episode 152 of the Situational Awareness Matters radio show. I'm your host, Rich Gasaway. The purpose of this show is to improve situational awareness and decision-making for individuals and teams who work in high-risk, high-consequence environments. The SA Matters mission is simple, to help you see the bad things coming in time to avoid bad outcomes. I mentioned in a previous episode that we're closing in on our 200,000th podcast download. This show, SA Matters Radio, is now the single longest consecutive running first responder focused podcast show on the internet. How cool is that? In the month of February alone, we had almost 20,000 downloads in a single month. 20,000. Holy cow. If you haven't subscribed yet to the show, go to iTunes or Stitcher Radio and search SA Matters Radio. There's also a link on the podcast page of the SA Matters website. And if you could help me by spreading the word about the podcast, I'd really appreciate that. Even though I'm super excited about the show's success, I had another humbling experience this week at the Maryland Fire Rescue Institute's National Fire Service Staff and Command program. I had 85 participants in the room, and I was talking about the lessons learned in one of the podcast episodes, and I polled the audience to see who had ever listened to an episode of the radio show, and like 4 hands went up. 4. So just when I think and it's a big deal, I just get another slap down to the reality that I've got a lot of work to do in order to get this show into the ears of more responders. And the only way that I'm going to be able to do that is by word of mouth and social media. And I need your help. Yes, I need your help. You, the one listening right now. Yep, you. You on the treadmill? Yeah, I'm talking to you. You driving to work to start your shift? Yeah, you, I'm talking to you. And you, the one heading home from work from your shift? Yep, I'm talking to you. Oh, and you, the one walking your dog? I'm talking to you too. I'm even talking to you, the one who puts the podcast on at night so it can put you to sleep? Yep, even you, I'm talking to you. And if you're asleep, wake up. Wake up and share this with someone that you know. Thank you. If you already subscribe to the show, go over to iTunes or Stitcher Radio and give it a review and a rating. And I'd appreciate it 5 stars if you like the show. That would really help me out, and that helps others to find the show when they're doing a search for podcasts. I'm looking for an ad sponsor for the show, too. Looking to add an additional sponsor, I should say. Now that we're the longest consecutive running first responder podcast on the internet with more than 200,000 downloads, I just can't get over that. I think there might be a company out there that would want to get their message into the ears of this show's listeners. If that's your company, or if you know a company that wants to expand their reach, ask them to contact me through the SA Matters website Contact Us link. And while I'm on the topic of sponsors, I want to throw a little love to my podcast sponsor, Midwest Fire, who, by the way, has been the sponsor of this show almost from the beginning now. Almost 3 years. It must be working for him, all right? Who knew? I guess they like getting their message in front of our listeners. Thanks, Midwest, for investing in this message and for building some amazing fire apparatus that protects our listeners. We're closing in on another incredible milestone, too, and I'm so excited about this. In just 4 more episodes, we'll be at episode 156, and that'll mark the 3-year anniversary of this podcast show. I've released a new episode every Tuesday without fail, and I mean every single Tuesday, for 3 consecutive years. There's no other first responder podcaster who's doing that, or even coming close to that. And I do it all for you. And while I'm proud of that, I have to give you the credit, the listener. I wouldn't have a show if it weren't for you. It really is that simple. I've been sharing the message of situational awareness and high-risk decision-making for 12 years now. I'm here for the long haul. And for so long as I'm able, I'll continue to share this message. A message of hope, a message of inspiration, and a message of encouragement for all first responders who want to make sure they're able to develop and maintain strong situational awareness and make quality, high-risk decisions. This show is for you and dedicated to help improve your safety and your survival and to accomplish goal number 1. Always goal number 1. Go home to the ones who love us. And truthfully, there's nothing I'd rather be doing. And speaking of sharing the message, I'm coming to you today from Towson, Maryland, where I'm in town to deliver a full-day situational awareness program for the attendees of the Maryland Fire and Rescue Institute's National Fire Service Staff and Command Program. This marks the 17th year I will have served as a presenter for the Maryland Fire Rescue Institute. I cannot believe how time has flown by, right? Oh, my goodness. One of the questions I get asked a lot by readers and listeners is, when are you coming to my area? I want to attend a program. Or where are you going to be next? Great questions, and the answers are really easy to find out. There's a link to all my upcoming events right on the SA Matters home page. Just click on the blue box on the right side of the home page labeled Upcoming Events Schedule. If you're interested in hosting a Situational Awareness Matters tour stop in 2017 for your department or your association or your region or your state, or if you're an industry or a company, we do those too, just contact me through samatters.com, Contact Us tab. We'll get something set up for you. It's not a hard process, I promise you that. But don't wait. The 2017 schedule is filling up, and I'm already booking requests for 2018. I just got confirmed for a booking for a program for the Amsterdam Fire Brigade. So they'll take me out of play for a couple of weeks, and I'm under consideration for a program in Belgium and in Australia. And if those come through, I'll probably be gone about a month. Thankfully, I now have 2 awesome master instructors trained to assist me with this load. If you want to get something scheduled, just swing by the SA Matters website, click the Contact Us link. Oh, and I should mention, if you want to save some money on a program, and who doesn't want to save some money, right? Here's a tip for how you can host a program at a reduced cost. I schedule many what I call companion programs. These are programs on adjoining days to other programs. So if you see I'm delivering a program within a couple hours of your department and you think you might want to tag along as a companion, contact me. You can save as much as 20% off the program cost by hosting a companion program, and I do about 30 of those each year. No one ever complains about saving money being a companion program. That's what I call a win-win. In today's feature segment, the 3rd podcast in a series, we're once again discussing dangerous mindsets. We're going to cover 9 of them in total. And today we're looking at the specialist, also known as the expert, sometimes known less affectionately as the know-it-all. Having smart people around is a good thing. In fact, one of the qualities of good leadership is the desire to surround oneself with smart people. However, specialists can have some adverse impacts on situational awareness at an incident scene. But before we look at that and how that can happen, let's recap what the 9 dangerous mindsets are. In part 1, we discussed the starter, also known as the new member. Last week, we discussed the subordinate, also known as the loyal follower. Today, we're taking on the specialist, also known as the expert or the know-it-all. Remaining in this series will be the superior, also known as the boss, the stubborn, also known as the defiant, the silent, also known as the shy one, the Superman or Superwoman, also known as the unstoppable, the slacker, also known as the complacent, and the synergist, also known as the like-minded. Let's jump into our feature segment on the dangerous mindset of the specialist, but stick around. When the feature segment is done, I'll tell you where you can attend an upcoming Situational Awareness Matters Tour Stop event. Who knows? Maybe I'm going to be in your state or in your county soon. The specialist. I define a specialist as a person who devotes him or herself to acquire and use a narrowly defined set of knowledge, skills, and abilities. This person often knows more about their field of specialty than others who may possess a general knowledge on a wide array of topics. Think of the field of medicine. The general practitioner, sometimes called the GP, has knowledge in a wide range of medical topics, while the neurosurgeon possesses deep knowledge in a narrow field of medicine. Generally speaking, emergency services providers tend to lean more to being generalists than specialists. This is because of the nature of our work is more in line with the general practitioner in the medical office. The GP sees a wide array of patients' issues every day and never really knows what they're going to have walking through the door at any given moment. The same can be said for emergency service providers. We must possess knowledge, skills, and abilities to address many kinds of issues, as we never know exactly what the next call will bring. However, among us, as in the field of medicine, we do have specialists. We have technical rescue specialists, we have hazmat specialists, we have hostage negotiation specialists, tactical team specialists, farm rescue specialists, and water rescue specialists, just to name a few. These individuals have obtained specialized training and acquired specialized knowledge, skills, and abilities that allow them to perform unique skills that the general emergency services provider cannot, or at least cannot do as well. They truly are specialists, and they can be a tremendous asset to an emergency response. The faux specialist. Faux specialists are fakes. Ones who proclaim themselves to be specialists, yet do not possess the knowledge, skill, ability, or training or experience to perform effectively at the specialist level. Perhaps they've had a class or two on the specialty topic. While possessing some knowledge that exceeds their peers, they lack the experience to truly make them an expert in that field. Early in my career, I saw this phenomenon in what at the time were termed smoke divers. Individuals who would go away to a school where they trained extensively in burn buildings and then came home as a certified smoke diver. Some of these smoke divers had little experience fighting real structure fires. It's the equivalent of an expert neurosurgeon having only practiced on cadavers. Every specialist has to acquire knowledge and training somewhere, and an advanced structural firefighting program is certainly a good way to get started, with the emphasis on getting started. Where the problem can arise is when the newly trained expert, lacking sufficient practice in real-world scenarios, professes that they know the best way to accomplish a task. A faux expert is usually coupled with a healthy dose of ego and an inflated level of self-importance. Those who have not been trained to the same level as the faux expert may feel intimidated by their knowledge, especially when they are good at professing how much they know. I once knew a department who had a self-proclaimed hazmat expert. His alleged expertise came from being a member of a hazmat team that, in truth, saw very little action. But he made sure everyone knew how smart he was and when it came to hazmat incidents. And, as expected, at the incident scene, his judgment was never questioned. So long as the expert is truly an expert, this may work out to be a good plan. But if the expert is a faux specialist, it can have catastrophic consequences. This is especially true if others operating at the emergency scene let their guard down and defer to the faux expert. Situational awareness can be lost quickly. The specialist lens. The true specialist, possessing expert knowledge, expert training, and the experience to back it up, can be a tremendous asset. However, as is the case with many specialists, a true expert can be very knowledgeable in a very narrow subject matter area. Thus, a true expert can look at things with a slant toward their area of expertise. This can impact situational awareness because an expert may overlook clues and cues that are unrelated to their area of expertise. I saw this in real life when I worked in a hospital emergency room where I routinely watched trauma teams work on accident victims. Each trauma specialist had their area of focus: thoracic, orthopedic, pulmonary, neurology, etc. Each of the doctors' focus was on their area of expertise. For example, a patient's blown right pupil, indicating a brain injury, may not be a concern to the thoracic surgeon who is focused on the rigid abdomen. Thankfully, the specialist had a team leader, an incident commander of sorts, who maintained a big picture view, or big picture situational awareness, of the patient and made sure the team treated the patient holistically. Specialist problems. As you may infer from the previous discussion, there can be several dangerous outcomes from deferring to the knowledge of specialists. First, a specialist may not have the acquired knowledge, training, and experience to truly be a specialist. When coupled with an inflated ego, this can be dangerous because the specialist can lead the incident in a direction toward a bad outcome. Unfortunately, no one at the scene may be in a position to refute the knowledge claims of the self-proclaimed expert, and incident situational awareness may spiral downward quickly. Additionally, a true specialist can become so focused on their area of expertise that other important clues and cues may be missed. It reminds me of the saying I use often in my leadership development classes: if your only tool is a hammer, every problem looks like a nail. This myopic view of a specialist can lead to decisions that are based on a limited field of vision. The narrow focus of the expert and their specialty knowledge can cause their situational awareness to narrow. The expert can also draw others into their narrow field by exaggerating the importance of certain things happening at the incident. Clearly, emergency service organizations can benefit from having specialists. However, it is important to be sure that the expert is truly an expert. This means they possess expert knowledge, skills, ability, expert training, and expert experience. Lacking any of these components may lead to a dangerous outcome if too much credit is given to the advice dispensed by a faux expert. All members should be trained to the basic level in all specialty areas. This prepares all members to a general understanding of what is going on and what needs to be done. This is important in the development of situational awareness. It is sage advice to avoid a situation where a specialist is the only one who knows what is going on. In the medical profession, general practitioners need to have a basic knowledge of a wide array of medicine in order to understand the clues and cues of the patients they are assessing. The same is true for emergency service providers. In many organizations, specialist teams are not dispatched immediately to specialty incidents. They're called in after the first wave of generalists are dispatched. This means the incident may operate for a period of time without the benefit of specialist knowledge. This can be very beneficial for the specialist to teach the non-specialist a basic level of knowledge of the important clues and cues, ensuring strong situational awareness of what can harm response teams so no one gets in a tough situation before the specialist arrives. If you've experienced or witnessed a near miss and would like to have a platform to share your lessons learned with others, please contact me by visiting the samatters.com website and clicking on the Contact Us link at the top of the homepage. Think about it for a moment. The lessons learned from your near miss event could save the life of another first responder. That's powerful. If you want to share your experience, contact me. Okay, as I always do, I want to take a moment to thank the departments and organizations that have hosted some great training for their members on situational awareness. I do this to show my appreciation to the organizations who put forth the effort to organize, advertise, and fund great training experiences for their members and for members of other departments in their region. Your efforts to bring this valuable and powerful training on situational awareness and high-risk decision-making to your members is greatly appreciated. Recent tour stops included the Portsmouth Naval Yard in New Hampshire, the Clovis Fire Department in California, the Lynchburg Fire Department in Virginia, the Mountain Iron, Minnesota region, and the Lutsen region in Minnesota. By the time this episode airs, I will have completed the program for the Maryland Fire Rescue Institute National Fire Service Staff and Command Program in Towson, Maryland, and will also have completed programs in Beaver County, Pennsylvania, and Cranberry, Pennsylvania. You can join me on March 28th in Blue Springs, Missouri, March 30 and 31 in Lancaster, Texas, April 1 and 2 in Richland, Washington, April 7, I'll be in Medford, Oregon. April 15th in New Richmond, Wisconsin. April 20, Penticton, British Columbia. April 22, Creston, British Columbia. April 24th, Michigan City, Indiana. April 25th, Indianapolis, Indiana. May 2, the Fire Department of the City of New York Incident Management Team Training. If you want to see the locations of all the upcoming Situational Awareness Matters tour stops, head over to the SA Matters website and click on the blue box on the right side of the homepage labeled Upcoming Events Schedule. Check back often because that schedule is always changing. While delivering programs in southwest Minnesota earlier this year, I had the opportunity to stop by and visit my totally awesome sponsor, Midwest Fire. They make all poly-bodied fire apparatus, and it's changing the industry. You seriously need to check them out at MidwestFire.com. Anyhow, I got a chance to sit down and talk to a few of their employees about what separates Midwest Fire from their competitors. And here I asked Account Executive Dalton Lingbeck about why Midwest Fire doesn't have a dealer network. Let's listen into what he had to say. Okay, Dalton, I got a question for you. No dealer network. What's up with that? Are you guys just not big enough to have a dealer network, or what's the strategy here for not having a dealer network for a fire truck manufacturer? It's a little bit out of the norm.
Yeah, no, it's not that we're not big enough. It's really because we actually had people that have come to us and want to be dealers for us, and it's more of a strategy for us to be more direct with the customer. We really want to have direct communication with them, and with the benefit for them as well is that they have direct communication with manufacturing. So really the beautiful thing is that when customers call us and talk to us about trucks, they're talking to an account representative at the facility. So if they have questions that we can't answer, we're 10 steps away from engineering, we're 20 steps away from production. So getting the answers to their questions is really efficient and really easy. It really keeps costs down as well. When you deal with the big guys and they have big dealer networks, they have commission structures for their dealers. You're dealing with a middleman where we don't have those costs. So we look after our customers, make sure that their trucks are affordable, and we make them even more affordable with not having those dealer networks. And then finally, miscommunication is minimal, basically because, like I said, you're dealing with us at the manufacturer facility. We make contact really efficient, and it's just direct, so it's really nice.
Yeah. So if I go to a conference and I see a manufacturer, they have some trucks there, and their booth is just swarming with people, and I'm not guessing, I know those are all their dealer reps. And then I walk over to Midwest Fire, and I see your apparatus on display, and I see some of your people there. Those aren't dealer reps. Those are people from right here in Laverne, Minnesota, that have gone to the conference. And you're talking to the direct people that are going to watch that truck being built beyond the walls that we're sitting in.
Exactly, yeah. So we don't bring anybody else except people that work and are employed by Midwest Fire. You'll see in our booth, you'll see a variety. You'll see the account representatives, so your sales guys, and then you'll see some years we bring engineering, some years we bring people from the shop, on the shop floor, from production. Our CEO, Sarah Atchison's there every single year. You can talk to her. We bring people from the office. It's just, everyone you talk to is directly here at the facility in Laverne, and it's nice.
Yeah. So if you're wondering what differentiates Midwest Fire from their competitors, there you have it, right from the horse's mouth. So check them out at MidwestFire.com. Thank you to Midwest Fire President Sarah Atchison and all your staff for your awesome commitment to improving first responder safety. I sincerely appreciate your support of my mission. If you want to send me any feedback, I'd love to hear from you. Just visit the SA Matters website and click the Contact Us tab. It's that simple. If you're not a member of the SA Matters community of learners yet, consider joining. There are more than 5,000 members connected here on SA Matters, sharing ideas about how to improve situational awareness, how to make better decisions under stress, how to train members to be critical thinkers, and resilient problem solvers. Membership is free, and when you join, I'll give you a special report I've created for the new members called 25 Best Practices for Improving First Responder Safety. Joining will also get you my monthly newsletter where I contain feature content from the blog and from the podcast. It's a good way for us just to stay in touch with each other. If you're not a member yet, head over to the SA Matters website, click on the red box on the right side of the home page that says Free Membership. If you want to get connected with me on Twitter, you can follow at Rich Gasaway on Twitter. On LinkedIn, you can search for Rich Gasaway on LinkedIn. On YouTube, you can watch my videos by going to the SA Matters TV channel, SA Matters TV, on YouTube. On Facebook, you can like the SA Matters page. Well, that's it. Episode 152 is complete. Thank you to our awesome podcast sponsor, Midwest Fire. Thank you to all of our live event hosts. Thank you to our almost 700 online academy students. And thank you, our listeners, for sharing some of your valuable content with me today. I really appreciate your support of the SA Matters mission. Be safe out there, and may the peace of the Lord and strong situational awareness be with you always.
You've been listening to the Situational Awareness Matters radio show with Dr. Richard B. Gasaway. If you are interested in learning more about situational awareness, human factors, and decision-making under stress, visit samatters.com. If you are interested in booking Dr. Gasaway for an upcoming event, visit his personal website at richgasaway.com.